I cannot wait to tell my therapist to be like, hey, you know that health anxiety I've been having? Well, the most recent cancer scare, again, not cancer, but it's not nothing. Oh my gosh. I gotta call Amy. Good morning. I'm starting my day starving. I had a pretty late dinner, late for me, last night, so I assume that's why I'm starving. For some reason, I know we've talked about, like, I've just had some medical things recently. I don't know if that is why or if that's solely why, but I more recently, have had some pretty bad health anxiety. Now, I'm used to general anxiety. Bad general anxiety. But more recently, I have had pretty bad health anxiety. And again, it's not been helped by the fact that, come to find out, there have been some things going on. So I know, I think I said to you guys, like, oh, I just thought, nothing was really going on with my eyes, but that I just needed a new prescription. I tend to, when I have my anxiety, I have what I call my logical brain, and then there's the anxiety side. So my logical brain was saying, you probably just need a new prescription, and without that new prescription, you're just struggling to see. With that, though, I also had an extreme scenario going on, which is part of why I was like, well, if I can't get into my Michigan eye doctors, I need to see a North Carolina eye doctor to get me to, kind of find a Band-Aid to get me to my Michigan eye doctors. Now, come to find out, there was inflammation. So that's not nothing, and it's not just a prescription need. But my worst case scenario also wasn't true. And this eye doctor said there was absolutely no signs that my worst case scenario was happening. So, like, that was good news. But yeah, this health anxiety has had an impact lately. So that being said, yesterday I actually made a doctor's appointment. I've mentioned I've had fluid in my ears, and it's been heavily on my left ear, and that has put pressure on my jaw. Well, I feel like there's something going on with my jaw still. So I've made a doctor's appointment. I laugh because I'm nervous. My anxiety is high today. I might actually need to take an emergency pill. There's probably nothing going on, like, in my mouth, with my jaw, whatever. But my brain is also like, it's cancer. I got Moira to play last night, so this morning Iris is like, I remember you were having so much fun, like, let's play. And Moira wants nothing to do with my poor Iris. Moira, play with Iris. She's trying so hard. No, just walks by with no acknowledgement. Ugh. My poor Iris. I was very happy to get Moira to play last night, though, and I'm glad the, like, tunnel toys that I got the girls, both of them, kind of incited Moira to play. It's early yet, but I figure I can check in on work. Hello. I kind of forgot to pick you guys up after the dentist. I received a lot of information. So it does not appear to be bone cancer. They're very certain they would have been able to pick that up on x-rays, but they do think I might have a bone splinter in my gums, and that's what's causing the pain. I also, come to find out, have other things going on. So right now, I'm on the way to a periodontist to see about the bone spur. The other thing too is I have a cap on one, no, I have a crown on one of my teeth, and it has like a gap or whatever. But in order for the crown to be situated better, which they say it needs to be, I would also have to have a surgery to like my gum or my jaw or something, which the periodontist will also be able to assess. I also have to go to the endo type of doctors, the teeth dentist doctor. It's not a dentist, it's an endo something. It's the type of doctor that does the root canals, because they need to assess something that's going on in 2 of my teeth. One is a potentially very rare condition, if you can believe it. I mean, you guys, this has been my past like December and January and now February, I guess. So it's been like my year of the fire horse is the year of rapid medical stuff. Oh, like my eye, right? Then it's like, oh, you gotta go to see your other eye doctor. I go to a dentist, they refer me to 2 other specialists. It's like and like one, sure, has to do with my complaint of my pain, but then the other stuff is not a complaint. One thing that the dentist thinks is going on is asymptomatic until you lose a tooth. And it's a rare thing that some people's bodies do. Like, what? Like, what is happening? What is this? What is life? I don't know, you guys. I feel overwhelmed with information. It's not too bad. I do have a bone splinter. The doctor thinks that it could heal
in a quarter mile
itself.
Use the right lane.
So I don't know. I guess right now, if you were to ask me like, oh, how long? I don't know how long it would take to heal.
Use the right lane.
But I told them, being that he said it could heal itself, I would give it a few days, because they can get me in next week. So I have something else going on with a tooth, and in order to determine that treatment plan, he has to talk to the dentist again, because we could go one of 2 ways. One of the ways, I can keep a tooth. The other option I have is to lose a tooth and have to do an implant. So he needs to talk to the preference, the dental preference is to keep the tooth. It's kind of like my eye. They did so much work to save the vision of my left eye. I'm legally blind. And I'm just like, why are we doing all of this work? I can't see out of it, you know, like why do we do so much work?
Head northwest.
Only for me to still not be able to see, but they're like, you know, any vision is better than no vision. And I'll agree, right? Like if I were to lose if something crazy were to happen to my right eye, I would be very thankful for the little vision that is in my left eye. Fair. Very, very fair. Hold on, I'm calling. All right, well, because he was able to get more information from my dentist, they said, come back on in and we'll talk about a treatment plan. So I guess that makes me think that they're leaning towards me not keeping the tooth if I'm going back to see him, but I don't know. But tomorrow is just to talk treatment plan. Oh boy. I just drove to a bank. I'm gonna get some pesos for Mexico. So I'm gonna let you go right now because I gotta do some math. I gotta do some US dollars to pesos math, and math, you know, it's hard. lost you guys after the bank yesterday. My brain just kind of turned off. I feel like I'm processing a lot right now, not even just with my teeth, right? Work, eye stuff, just Mexico. I'm just a mixed bag of emotions. But it will be all right. It's all fine. I am. My brain does feel full. There is no room for anything new right now. Unfortunately, I have a day of meetings, back-to-back meetings for my job. So that'll be interesting, trying to take in information at those meetings while my head is feeling at capacity. Well, hello. It is late in the evening now, but I did go to the periodontist again today, and sure enough, just like I thought, for some reason I just thought they were going to say they couldn't save the tooth. They can't. So the way that my jaw is shaped, in order to save the tooth, they'd have to do like a root canal to get the pulp out inside the tooth, and then they have to put a crown on it. But the way that my jaw is shaped, the dentist was like, in order for me to get a crown to fit properly, we'd have to remove some of your jaw, which is why I went to the periodontist. So I went to the periodontist, and what he's saying is he would have to remove so much of my jaw that it would put my other adjacent teeth at risk. So that the better path is to not save my tooth, you guys, which means they have to pull the tooth out, which apparently then means you have a bone graft where they take someone else's bone, essentially that is in like a powdery way, so it's not like a solid bit of bone, and they pack it in to the gaping hole that it's left when you, if you can imagine, as you pull an adult tooth. And then that heals over, like, say, 5 months. And during that process, it goes from, like, soft, they said, to hard bone. And during that time frame as well, all of the other bone cells get swapped out with your own. And that's part of how your body, like, is like, oh, no, we're going to heal this spot. And through that, you have, cell regeneration type stuff going on. And then it gets rid of the other bone, and you're left with your own bone. And then it's hard again. And that's what gives them something to drill into for an implant.